What is up, everybody? Keith Mitchell here from Outerhaven Production with my buddy Scott.
Howdy.
And we're here to talk about Valve's latest announcement. Well, one of their announcements, the Steam Machine, which is getting a lot of hype, a lot of talk. People just can't seem to stop talking about this. And of course, we're both big PC enthusiasts here at the Outerhaven, so we figured why not talk about it ourselves and let you guys understand where we're coming from for this certain thing. And we do have 3 lovely topics, but we may go off on a tangent, so it is what it is. Okay. It's just weird it's weird saying this, but the Steam Machine is just a PC. And for people who are going around saying that it's a console, I don't know where you're getting this from. This is Valve. They don't operate in the console space. They're not like AMD where they're integrated into the Xbox Series X and S or the PlayStation or every freaking handheld on the face of the market right now. This is not them. And I saw a post somebody made elsewhere saying that Steam Valve is basically integrated to the PC environment as in they own it. And no, they don't, because they don't make chips.
No.
They don't make chips. They don't make motherboards. They don't make GPUs. No, they're not. Please stop saying this. They're just a player and a very much larger garden that they just seem to be the forefront of it because everybody loves Steam. But Steam is not the end all be all. That's it.
They even mentioned that like a lot of their parts were like off the shelf, like store produced parts. So it's not like most of these are custom made. Some of the parts are, but most of these are just like straight up just PC parts.
And yes, it is not more powerful than PlayStation 5 or an Xbox Series X, but that was the entire goal. They weren't trying to go after these consoles. Hence, it's not a console. I mean, sure, maybe more powerful than the Switch, but the Switch has DLSS, and we still haven't really seen what the Switch 2 can do just yet. I don't think we have. So
yeah, I think right now the most impressive piece of tech that we've had that's ironically not even Nintendo is the Cyberpunk 2077 DLS run with Switch 2. Because even like the normal Nintendo games don't utilize DLSS as much as that game does.
I'm curious to see what happens with Metroid Prime 4, but we're 2 weeks away from that. When does it come out again?
Yeah, that comes out in like, it's like December 10th or something like that.
It's in December.
Super early. Yeah.
It's coming up in December. We won't dilly-dally around that. We'll figure it out as we start talking about this. But yes, the Steam Machine is not a console. It is a PC, but I can understand the messaging here because if you looked at the introduction video for the Steam Machine and the Steam controller and the Steam frame, which I'm very excited for, but that's a topic for another time. They mentioned that they want to have this in your living room. They literally say they want this in your living room under your TV, which I understand why people are saying it's a console, but you can have a small form factor PC or a handheld PC connected to your living room TV, folks. This is not new. People have been doing this for decades. It's just gotten to the point where we now have very small form factor machines that can stay in your living room, to the point where your significant other doesn't yell at you for having this massive tower in your living room. Not that I know anything about that.
Yeah, not at all. And it's also fun to note that there are other companies that do already try to do like a Raspberry Pi form factor PC to have inside your living room. They're like, you can find all of them all over like AliExpress if you want to get even like just like an emulation machine.
There is one in particular that was revealed before the Steam Machine, and it's from Zotac, who also makes video cards. It's the Magnus EN275660TC, which is interesting that they call it Magnus because something else is being called Magnus, so that's kind of funny. But this is a very small form factor PC that has an RTX 5060 Ti integrated with 16 gigs of memory. That is freaking amazing. Of course, I contacted Zotac many times. Like, hey, when's this thing coming out and how much is it going to cost? And they've yet to get back to me, which means it's probably going to be a lot of money.
Yeah.
But Valve has not been the first person to do so. They simply wanted to capitalize on what has been done, again, for decades. And they've been going for a while. They tried to do this back in 2013, 2015, between that time frame. And it failed, which was good that it's Good and bad. It's bad that it failed, but it's good because it kicked off that small form factor PC war, and everybody wanted to have a small form factor PC, and they became
Yeah.
more relevant in the PC space. Like if you go to YouTube now, there's like 100 bazillion videos of somebody going, "I put this massive video card into this small shell," which is great because not everybody needs a massive tower in their living room or their office or wherever you game at. So it's good to see that. I mean, we're seeing PCs that are, I wish I had something to be representative, but I don't have anything right here to pick up. But they're pretty damn small and having pretty powerful GPUs in
Yeah.
there.
You have PCs pretty much like the size of a Vita nowadays.
Yeah. And I can understand why people are calling it a console because we're at the point now where the lines are completely blurred, like an Xbox Series X or PlayStation 5 is still considered a PC, but it is using a console like or console OS, which is why now you look at the Steam machine, it's like it's using SteamOS, which is pretty much what you want a console OS to look like on a PC. This is the reason why SteamOS exists because they're like,
Yeah.
hey, why not do what consoles do? That's the entire reason that SteamOS actually exists. And it's amazing. It is the best OS out there in terms of gaming. If I'm talking about a complete UI interface, it's freaking amazing.
Yeah.
Now, I'm not going to go on a ranting I hate Windows tangent like some people do because I am in the PC space and I also work in IT and I know what Windows does bad and what it does good and what you
Yeah.
can use Windows for. So I'm not going to go into that whole thing. This is not a Linux channel. This is not a Windows channel. We do not bash either OS. We just talk about what's good and what's bad. But for gaming, for handheld gaming, Windows is not a good OS. For gaming in general, yeah, because let's be honest. If it wasn't for Microsoft and it wasn't for Windows, the PC gaming space would probably be in the Stone Ages.
Yeah.
People forget we had PC DOS that came into Microsoft DOS that turned into Windows 3.1 and it just took off from there. And Windows has been in the forefront of gaming. So let's not get it twisted. Again, Microsoft is the reason why we're here right now in terms of gaming on a PC. That's simply it. But see, I went on a tangent there. But
Yeah.
it's not a PC. But I understand why people are calling it a console because you can and will be able to put it in your living room or your office on the TV. I'm looking forward to that. I've had a couple mini PCs that just weren't as powerful in terms of the GPU. So I really want that. Now, CPU, I've had plenty of them that just kills what the Steam machine is. But the GPU aspect, these mini PCs that exist outside the one just talked about, they don't exist for you to game on. They exist for you to do work. They exist for them to be servers. They exist for you as workstations. They didn't go, well, we need to put 16 gigs of VRAM into this computer because they're going to run games on it.
No.
They didn't think about that crap. So it's amazing that Valve is coming back and is again not the forerunner, but they will help push this small form factor PC initiative a lot further.
Yes. It was because of the Steam Deck that we got like SteamOS's Proton emulation layer that allowed the Linux gaming to go so much farther than it's been since forever, basically. Linux before that was super difficult to get running anything. So now with SteamOS and the Proton and being able to emulate things on that level, it's a much more powerful operating system for gaming. And that is because of the Steam push. So obviously, that will also help continuously going with the Steam machine.
I remember when there was a lot of issues between AMD and NVIDIA making drivers for Linux, or the drivers barely worked and they didn't care. And we're way past that point now. I want to thank Valve and Proton for that because now they're like, we need to make drivers for these machines because people want to play games on Linux. It's crazy that we're at this point. Again, I'm not jabbing anybody I've picked for it. So I just want to throw it out there. But yeah, it's not a console. It is a PC. People need to stop calling it a console. These websites, these YouTubers, these influencers, whoever are calling it a console, they're wrong. But again, I understand the messaging, but it's not a console, guys. Don't let it fool you. It is a PC. And one that it's going to be quite expensive, but we figured that. So when we heard about the Steam machine, we were talking about it in our Discord and we were throwing around price tags. And I think I said what, $599 to $800 for this thing to come out. And that sounds about right, especially since Valve has said they're not going to subsidize this. Subsidize, I hate that word, this whatsoever. Meaning they're not going to take a price cut on this.
No,
They're going to charge
this
you
will be
100%.
priced as is for the production line. So similar to a PC.
Yeah. And I think that makes a lot of sense. Just because we as a whole are in a bad situation. I don't want to say the tariff word, but we're going to have to say it.
Yeah, that doesn't help.
Tariffs are driving up the price of any technology in this country, North America,
And
United
the
States
AI
of America.
bubble isn't helping that either.
The AI bubble isn't helping because with the AI bubble, we got people trying to make data centers everywhere. So now the cost of RAM is going up. By the way, if you have not bought RAM, purchased RAM, and you're like, I need to buy some RAM for my machine, you probably want to do it right now because the price of RAM is skyrocketing.
Yep.
It's ridiculous. Get it. But yeah, Valve has stated they're not going to take a price cut on this whatsoever. And it makes perfect sense. And again, it is a PC. And for them, I don't want to say that this is a risk, but they're like, this is somebody mentioned to me when we were talking about this a couple days ago, which made a lot of sense. This is an experiment for them. Yes. This is not something that they are 100% behind. It's like, all right, let's see how this works, because the Steam Deck was an experiment, people. As well as it did, selling between 4 to 5 million units ever since it came out, it was an experiment.
Yep.
And one that did fairly well for Valve. So they're going to do the same thing for the Steam machine, and they're going to go, all right, how many of these do we sell? But yeah, it's gonna be expensive. I don't see this being $1,200-$1,300 expensive.
No,
because we don't need that.
It's not gonna be a like mid-level PC. It's still entry level if you look at the specs.
Yeah, because they said as powerful as 6 Steam Deck, excuse me. But even then, that's not a massive leap when you look at other things on the market. Like look at the ROG Allies, the Xbox Allies, the MSI Claws, the Legion Goes. These things are all more powerful than the Steam Deck. Keep getting confused, and they might be more powerful than the Steam machine. We don't know yet. We don't know. All we know is the specs that Valve has given us.
Yeah,
and we'll just have to wait and see. It's just. You know, I've seen all these videos of people going, I just made a Steam machine. And I'm like, bro,
no.
Anybody can make a Steam machine. You take the SteamOS on a platform that supports AMD and you install the OS and you got a Steam machine. Hey, look at that.
Yep.
It's not very hard. I wouldn't spend $800 on these parts and made a Steam machine. I get it. I respect your hustle, but we need to stop that. Please stop that. This is the same crap we had when the PlayStation and the PlayStation 5 and Xbox Series X came out, and everybody's like, I made a PC more powerful than this. And I'm like, do we need to do this again? Because this is what's happening. And we don't really need to do this. I understand the hype, but stop. Please stop. And Valve has not said how much this thing's going to cost. So all these articles from these websites, please stop. Please stop. As much as I love Linus Tech Tips, I love them. I love what they do. But Linus did not get an answer from Valve.
No,
he threw a number out there, and Valve didn't answer the question. So we don't know how much this is going to cost, guys. He did not get what he wanted. But people are seeing that he mentioned this, and they're going, well, it's not going to be $500. You know what? It could be $500. So we don't know what kind of deal the AMD and Linux, or like AMD and Valve. There's so many different companies involved with this. AMD and Valve are doing right now. We have no idea what they're doing. They could come out and shock the hell out of us. It could be $600. I'm not saying it's $600. I'm simply saying they could come out and shock us. We don't know how much it's going to cost, and Valve is always looking at the market right now to see how much it costs them to have these parts made and to sell them to us, which makes perfect sense. I hate to bring them up again, but Microsoft raised their Xbox Series X twice now.
Yeah.
And there's rumbling that they're going to do it again.
Yep.
This is like 5-year technology, and
it's getting more expensive to produce.
Hey, it's got something to do with that tariffs and, that AI bubble that we seem to be talking about all the time. Yeah. So we have no idea how much it's going to cost. We need to stop assuming the worst. Just let it go. It's not coming out till next year, folks. And even then, we don't know when next year.
We know it's
All I know is
2026.
that's it. I know. I'm super excited for it because again,
Yeah.
being a PC enthusiast and I love playing with new technology. I'm looking forward to seeing what it does. It's not going to surpass my machine right here, and it's just I wasn't going to talk about this, Scott, but like I said, tangents and all that fun stuff. Let's talk about who this is for,
Yes.
because I think this is a very important part, and I'll jump into the next topic after this because I think they bleed into each other.
Yeah.
Valve is developing this technology, this Steam machine for people like us. That's as simple as it is. They wanna get the people who purchase the Steam Deck. Those people, every person who purchased the Steam Deck, they're trying to get you to purchase this. So you can
Yes.
have a permanent device in your living room, in your office, your bedroom, whatever you take. They want you to experience everything they've made great on the Steam OS in your living room. And it's part of their ongoing experiment to see what they did, what have they done since the Steam Deck, and what they need to do to continue. Because I can guarantee you, whatever we see on this machine is something they've been working on for quite some time.
Oh yeah. Like all of these advancements they had for SteamOS have just basically been like the opus of what they've been working on since 2013 with the SteamOS back then with the original Steam machine. Which, by the way, a lot of the problems was because of the first version of SteamOS. It was very rough, even so much that like the people that they were working with was Alienware and like Dell at the time. They had versions of Steam Machine where they literally got rid of SteamOS to put Windows 7 on it.
Yep, and then they sold that for a while.
Yeah, and they basically were like, "Yeah, no, the Windows 7 versions were better."
Isn't that ironic? Isn't that it's like they made something that was supposed to be Linux only. It didn't work out well. They put Windows on it and they sold that machine for quite some time. Then they just went, you know what? Other people are making these small form factor machines. We're just going to stop.
Yeah.
Again, the SteamOS, just like Steam in the very beginning, was not the product that we're now using right now. SteamOS in the beginning was very rough, was prone to crashing. It was a great idea that turned into something after years of feedback and development. But now it's the best gaming OS that everybody's using right now. So
yep,
it took a while, but it's amazing. And this is why the Steam machine is going to be even better than the Steam Deck. They've learned. They've seen. They know people want to play with this in their living room. So they're going to make it just like that. They're going to make it for us to do it. And they want to grab every person who's ever touched the Steam Deck or has heard of the SteamOS and want to be part of their ever-growing experiment. I know I'm down for it.
Yes.
Unless it's priced out of how much I'm willing to pay for it.
If it reaches the 4 digits, it's not going to be in the Christmas stuffer.
If it's more than $1,000, I'm not touching it.
Yeah.
Because at that point, I'll be like one of those YouTubers. I just made a Steam machine for $1,000. I won't need it. I mean, it's already got a couple of shortcomings. First of all, the GPU is limited.
Yeah, the VRAM is limited, especially with games nowadays.
And they're like, you can play 8 or 4K games. And I'm like, but that's with FSR.
Yeah, you can play with FSR, and we don't even know if it's going to be more about FSR 4 or 3. And looking at, and that is like nowadays, FSR 4 isn't still very supported in games even nowadays. FSR 3 still is, but FSR 3, when you compare it to FSR 4, is kind of crap.
So you've got that issue. The CPU still makes me worry. It's not the best. I know I said we weren't going to talk about the specs, and I'm not really talking about the specs in particular, but in terms of what you can build right now for $1,000, you don't need the Steam machine.
No.
Again, it's an experiment. They want to see what they can do. And I applaud them. I think it's going to do well for what they're trying to do because they've already got the ear of pretty much everybody within the PC gaming space.
Yes. And another thing I do want to touch on is people are going to be talking about is this for like getting rid of the consoles that are out now with the PlayStation, Xbox, and the answer is no. This is going to be, again, like it's an accessory to Steam. If you're someone who's very ingrained into the Steam ecosystem, or you have a lot of games on Steam, or essentially you just want to join Steam in some regard, this is going to be the way to do it. This isn't necessarily trying to get rid of the competition of PlayStation or Xbox. They're already in their own battle of the console wars. This is its own, again, an experiment to see how well this will go if people want this in their living rooms. This is Steam. This is Valve basically being like, if people want more places to use Steam, that will be a good way to do it.
I don't even think that Valve has stated that they don't want to compete with them, but I'm pretty sure guys, in the grand scheme of thing, in the grand scheme of how this works, Valve is not the player that Microsoft or PlayStation is.
No.
They know this. They cannot compete with those two juggernauts. As much as people give Microsoft crap, they cannot compete with Xbox.
No.
And they know this. Valve, again, is not the only player in the PC space, but they are one of the smartest for what they've done.
Yes.
Again, Steam Deck has done amazing. Every time I take my ROG Ally outside, even today I picked it up, and my daughter's like, "Oh, is that a Switch?" And I'm like, "I've owned this for like a year. How the hell are you calling it a Switch?" Because the new Switch is black, and it's like, and it's a lot smaller than this. Come on. So it's not to compete against them. It definitely is not. Again, people are just making out things to be something that Valve has not said at all.
No.
I don't think they're doing this whatsoever. But that's an interesting segue, because this is the reason why I wanted to have this video in the first place. Is I was going to talk about this, but I think it makes more sense to have another person in this conversation in case I say something that I shouldn't say or say something wrong. Now, I've said this before, and I believe you agree with me, because I wrote an article about this a week or so ago, that Valve needs to advertise its stuff.
Yes.
When the Steam Deck first came out, the only place you can get the Steam Deck was on Steam.
Yep.
And 2 years afterwards, the only place you can get it was on Steam. When they finally launched this device in other countries, the only place you can get it was Steam, unless you bought it on eBay or some other storefront and you didn't get the warranty or anything. It was like, all right, you buy this, and if it breaks down on you,
sucks to be you.
Oh well. And it's going to cost so much. It's going to cost too much to send it back to Valve for them to fix it, to send it back to you, given the price that you paid. So it's like, there's no point. And this is where Valve needs to change things. But it kind of contradicts what we said earlier about having this in the living room and who the Steam machine is being marketed for. But I truly believe if Valve wants to do more than just do this experiment, I think they need to sell this at other places. It needs a storefront. It needs a physical storefront. Best Buys or the Micro Centers or Amazon, the Targets, the Walmarts, they need to sell this. Those places sell machines. They sell PCs. Yes. It wouldn't be out of the ordinary to just go, well, what is that? What is that cube thing right there? And why is it playing games? Well, that is the Steam machine. It is a PC that runs its OS, and it is amazing for gaming. Oh, it's amazing for gaming. How much does it cost? It costs, we don't know, maybe $1,000, but it's amazing. So I can play games on here and not spend an arm and a leg versus this massive PC over there. Yeah, you kind of can. It's like that handheld, but it's for your living room.
Yeah, especially because like places like Best Buy already sell a lot of those handhelds, like the ROG Allies, the MSI Claws, the Lima Legion Goes.
Yeah.
So they're fine with selling more gaming-centered PC devices.
And this is where I think Valve needs to change its direction. I don't think this is going to sell as much as the Steam Deck.
Probably
I don't think
not.
So. Because you're now selling to a different market. And this is why they need to advertise. You're not selling. When it comes to the grand scheme of things, handhelds, ROG Ally, most people aren't buying that.
No.
MSI Claws, same thing. Lenovo Goes. They're marketed to a set niche of people.
Yeah, they're very niche hardware.
Now, when you look at the Nintendo Switch, it does what it does because it's Nintendo. Nintendo has it. Nintendo knows people will buy this because it has the Nintendo name behind it. And there's why it sells more than anything on the face of the earth, because
And
it's
it
a
has a
Nintendo
lot
product.
of marketing. You
Super
go to any
marketing.
Fred Meyer or Target or Walmart, and the first thing you're plastered with is, "Hey, Nintendo Switch 2 exists."
Or, you know, you go to parades and they talk about Nintendo Switch stuff or Super
Yeah.
Mario, and it's like, everything. It's what the power of marketing does. Steam Deck, it has none because, oh, hey, they don't sell it in stores.
Yeah, it has marketing on the Steam store, and that's about it.
But if you don't know about the Steam store, or you're not already a PC gamer,
Yeah.
you don't sell it. It doesn't go anywhere. And this is why I think Valve needs to change. But didn't you just say that, you know, it's not going to sell a lot? It's not going to sell a lot if people don't know about it. But didn't you say the Valve is smaller than Microsoft and PlayStation? I did. But that
Yeah.
doesn't mean it wouldn't stop them. They made that video that said, oh, hey, look about
It
this.
exists.
And it's a great video. Why wouldn't you not put that on like YouTube TV? Why not put that during these football games? People will go, hey, what is this device? What is this? What is this called? Put it during basketball games. Put it through any sports game. Put it on concerts. People will ask, oh, what is this? I have to say it. When you have companies that are selling feminine hygiene products on TV, and you're watching TV, and you go,
What?
what the hell? I didn't see this and I'm watching, but you know about it now. It wouldn't be so hard for you to go, and here's the Steam machine. If you want more information about it, go to steam.com. And you would grab so much attention, because the second you say living room gaming, people are going to go, this is interesting. Okay, I need to know more about this. And even if they don't buy it, they now know what it is. They're not informed.
And it'll be in the back of their head, regardless.
Yeah. And then when it finally comes out, they go, hey, we released it. And do the same thing. And people will go, what is this? But the problem of it is, if you go to most websites, they're not talking about it. If you go to a Nintendo-oriented website because of the Switch, they're not going to talk about it. If you go to a PlayStation website, they're not going to talk about it. If you go to an Xbox website, they're not going to talk about it. You have to go to tech-oriented sites like sites like us or other sites that want to talk about PC gaming. And they're starting to become less and less and less of them. I mean, sure, there's a bazillion YouTubers out there, but let's be honest. That's a drop in the bucket compared to the PlayStation, the Xbox, Nintendo YouTubers, influencers out there. I just think that Valve needs to advertise this a bit more. That's all I'm going to say. Please advertise the hell out of this. Because at the end of the day, you're not just helping your product, you're helping PC gaming as a whole. It has grown over the last 6 to 7 years.
Yep.
Can you imagine 10 years ago, we weren't getting the Dragon Quests or the Tekkens or and I feel like an old man now. It's like, well, you weren't getting the Super Marios on this. You're just getting so many different games on the PC platform now that 10, 15 years ago, it would never happen. Japanese developers did not want to touch the PC. You weren't getting Street Fighter on a PC. Or if you did, it was like those old ass PC ports that ran like jank. They were terrible.
Yeah, with the ones that had the really terrible like launchers off of Steam, so that you like launch the launcher from Steam and then the Steam launcher hits and it's just one of those like really bad like Windows like 95 looking Windows that you just like barely can read it.
I remember playing Outrun on my PC so much, and it was like, it was nothing like the arcade. Now you can play Outrun from the arcade on your PC. And so PC gaming has come a long way. And the whole gist of this all is I really want Valve to do right with this machine. I really think they have something that is worthwhile. Obviously, it's going to depend on how much it costs, but I really do think that advertising it is going to be a big factor as well. People need to know about this damn thing.
They really do. And I really hope that Valve actually does put some budget into the marketing that isn't just we'll add a website for just Steam machine, because it's not going to go as well as they want it to go.
And put it in other regions, please.
Yeah.
PC gaming is not solely in North America. They do it a lot in Japan. They do it in Australia. They do it in Europe. PC gaming is all over this freaking world now. It needs to be advertised as such. There are so many people who have imported Steam Decks because they wanted them.
It's crazy because there's still regions that can't purchase Steam Decks. So are those regions going to still have the same problem when the Steam machine comes out? It's like, great, now there's 2 Steam devices I can't buy here.
You got all these people complaining, myself included, that you can't get PlayStation Plus in certain places. But when it comes to this, it's like, oh, whatever. We're quiet about this. No, you need to go to Valve, say, I want to be able to buy this in my region. I want to throw my money at you. Why is it so hard that I can't do it, or I have to pay twice as much for this thing and get no customer support or anything because I bought it in a country that you don't support? That's terrible.
Yes, it is.
You gotta do better than that.
Especially because you can have Steam accounts in those regions.
Does that make any sense?
If you're not going to support the region, what's the point?
Exactly. I said what I wanted to say. I don't have anything else for you guys other than I really am looking forward to see what Valve does with this thing. I'm looking forward to see an updated version of SteamOS. And I want to see PC gaming to prosper as it has been doing right now, and Valve is a big part of it. I want people to understand that we don't know how much it costs because Valve has not told us that. And stop listening to YouTubers because Valve has not said a damn thing.
No.
Not one thing.
Wait till the official sources actually reveal information before you take it as gospel from someone else.
Stop reading because I heard from this guy's mom who works at a company with my dad. No, just wait. Just wait.
Or no longer in high school anymore. Or even elementary school.
Oh, man, elementary school. I missed that. But if you can't wait, you know what? Go to Market Center. Go buy the damn parts. Make your own Steam machine. Just keep in mind, it has to be AMD parts. You can't put NVIDIA stuff in there. It has to be all AMD stuff. AMD chipset, AMD motherboard, AMD CPU, AMD GPU, and get a good one, a current one, and make your own Steam machine. And then make a video telling us that you made one and it cost you $1,500.
So we can be angry at you.
Because, at the end of the day, if you really want to make a Steam machine, go buy a Steam Deck, get a dock, put it in your living room. Hey, mazel tov.
We got one. Get 6 Steam Decks. Put them all together. Now you have
dock them together. Now you have PC power. Man, that's crazy. Jeez. But that is it. I don't want to keep too much of your time. Scott, you have anything to say before we jump out of here?
Play Trails. Always play Trails.
He always says play Trails. This guy plays RPGs like nothing. Scott, thanks for stopping on, man. I appreciate it. Help me out, especially since my Eagles got their ass stomped. I don't know what they did. That was a terrible game. Eagles, you blew it. Oh, my God. Hope you lost people money, too, by the way. And myself, Keith Mitchell. Thanks for stopping by, folks. You like the video, do us a big favor. Check us out over YouTube. You can check us out on Buzzsprout, Spotify, Amazon still has podcasts, Apple Podcasts, and wherever else good podcasts are hosted. Also, check us out over the outerhaven.net. Also, stop by on Twitter. We're still on Twitter. We're still on Twitter. Yep. And we're also on Blue Sky. So thanks for watching, and we will see you all later. Take care.
See ya.